These are the visuals that we're getting to you as the Japanese leader is in Gujarat's Ahmedabad during his two-day India visit. A huge boost when it comes to the Indo-Japan ties. Shinzo and Aki Abe paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at the Sabarmati Ashram just a short while back. The Japanese Prime Minister, his wife Aki Abe and Prime Minister Modi paid their respects to Mahatma Gandhi's statue at the Sabarmati Ashram just a few moments ago. In fact, Shinzo Abe, as well as his wife, joined by the Indian Prime Minister, paying tributes to the father of the nation. There have been a host of issues that have come up for talks during this crucial visit by the Japanese leader. Remember, the two leaders, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Japanese leader Shinzo Abe, have met as many as 10 times over the last few years. From climate talk to an NGO visit, Japanese First Lady also has a packed schedule accompanying the Japanese leader there. The two prime ministers have a lot on agenda when it comes to varying sectors and have been seen paying tributes to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, at the Sabarmati Ashram just a few moments back. These are the live visuals that we're getting to you from Ahmedabad as Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe continues with his ongoing visit there to Gujarat's Ahmedabad. Just a short while back, we got you an update where Shinzo and his wife Aki Abe signed the visitor book at the Sabarmati Ashram. This is a crucial moment. There is a lot of emotional significance there that's coming from this visit to the Sabarmati Ashram as well. Interesting to point out that the Japanese leader and his wife are donning Indian clothes for the occasion. Earlier, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, his wife Aki Abe and Prime Minister Narendra Modi had gathered at the Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad. The Prime Minister Modi accompanying Shinzo Abe to the Siddhi Said Mosque as well. An exercise in and a huge moment there that's come in during that ongoing visit. Ahmedabad, meanwhile, has been all decked up for the mega road show that we also got you images of earlier, where Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was flanked by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi as they made their way through that 9-kilometer long route. Our correspondent Ramesh Ramachandran has been on ground tracking the minute-by-minute developments coming in from that ongoing visit by the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, accompanied by the First Lady there. Let's get in some updates from Ramesh there. Ramesh, first up, give us a sense of the atmosphere there. What's the buzz?
Well, I'm coming to you from near one of the main squares of Ahmedabad, which lies on the route that Prime Ministers Abe and Modi took on their way from the airport to their first official engagement, which was the Sabarmati Ashram, made famous by none other than Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the Indian nation. So that was their first official engagement, and the mood here was one of a festive atmosphere, a festive occasion, as it were, with a roadshow being planned here in honor of Prime Minister Abe, and all along the 8-kilometer route from the airport to the Sabarmati Ashram, there were at least 18 stage shows being performed by students from various schools and colleges in the city, and they were dressed in traditional attire, and they performed to the local traditional music. So clearly a festive occasion here on display in Ahmedabad.
Right, request you to just hold that thought there, Ramesh, as we get our viewers these live images coming in as Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has now received Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Interesting to point out here that there is an Indian touch that the Japanese Prime Minister and his wife Aki Abe are donning with those Indian clothes, that Indian attire, during that visit to Gujarat's Ahmedabad there. Important to point out here how the bonhomie between the two leaders has seen a major boost over the last few years. meeting as many as 10 times over the last few years. And the Indian Prime Minister and his Japanese counterpart entering that premises there. It's a crucial visit, an emotional touch that also has been given out throughout that journey that the Indian Prime Minister has been making with his Japanese counterpart and the Japanese First Lady throughout the tour that they've taken in Ahmedabad, that 9-kilometer route that they've taken to reach the spot. As we continue to track these latest visuals coming in of the Indian Prime Minister as he has now received the Japanese leader. It's a moment of huge spectacle there as the Indian Prime Minister and the Japanese counterpart, along with the Japanese First Lady Aki Abe, paused there for a photo opportunity. Throughout that visit, we've seen several issues that have come up, a host of issues on agenda as far as the Japanese leader's visit here to India is concerned. It's also been a first-of-its-kind roadshow right from the city's airport to the iconic monument, Mahatma Gandhi Sabarmati Ashram. Later, that entire route that was dotted by cultural performances that the Indian Prime Minister and his Japanese counterpart have been greeted with as a part of the grand welcome that was accorded to the Japanese Prime Minister. For his grand welcome, the twin cities of Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar decked up with streets shimmering with lights, hoardings and banners. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visiting the Siddhi Said Mosque, which is known to be emblematic of the architectural beauty of Ahmedabad. Just a short while back, during that visit to the Sabarmati Ashram, which of course was a crucial stop during that visit being made by the Japanese Prime Minister, after the completion of their roadshow from the Ahmedabad airport, Prime Minister Modi earlier briefed Shinzo Abe and his wife Aki Abe on the symbolism of the charkha as they visited the Sabarmati Ashram, and here seen again posing for a photo opportunity during the visit to the Siddhi Said Mosque. The mosque is emblematic of the architectural beauty of Ahmedabad. The highlight of the visit, important to point out, will be the launch of India's first bullet train project that is to take place tomorrow. The project that runs between Mumbai and Ahmedabad, getting financial assistance from Japan. It's been an interesting journey also for the Japanese Prime Minister as he made his way from the city airport, flanked by Indian Prime Minister and his wife Aki Abe, with that entire route dotted with cultural performances, glimpses of which we got you as a part of our coverage just a short while back as well, tracking the latest coming in now from Ahmedabad as the Indian Prime Minister and his Japanese counterpart tour the Siddhi Said Mosque there, signifying the architectural beauty of Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Indian Prime Minister there waving out to the media and spectators. The Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, flanked by his wife Aki Abe, waving out to the media personnel as they depart from the premises of the Siddhi Said Mosque. It's been an interesting journey as well for the Japanese Prime Minister, right from the time that he landed in Ahmedabad, as he was greeted by several cultural performances right throughout that route that the convoy took from the airport to the Sabarmati Ashram, where the Prime Minister also briefed the Japanese Prime Minister and his wife on the father of the nation, also the symbolism of the charkha. This is a crucial two-day India visit by the Japanese Prime Minister, as a part of which the highlight of that visit is going to be that high-speed corridor, the bullet train project that is going to be unveiled tomorrow. Our correspondent Ramesh Ramachandran has been tracking the very latest coming in from Ahmedabad, is throughout with us in this broadcast. Ramesh, what exactly are the two leaders expected to discuss when they sit down again for talks tomorrow? What are the expected issues to be on the table?
So tomorrow will be the operative part of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's two-day visit to India. This is the fourth annual summit that Prime Ministers Abe and Modi will be co-chairing here in Ahmedabad. Remember, this would be their 10th meeting in 3 years, and as I said, the fourth annual summit which these two leaders will co-chair. And they most recently met on the margins of the G20 summit at Hamburg in Germany. So on their agenda tomorrow will be the entire range of bilateral, regional and global issues. Remember, trade, security, investments will be high on their agenda, as will be the scope of collaboration between India and Japan on issues such as civil nuclear cooperation, on defense, and especially on the issue of infrastructure development here in India. So a whole list of items on their agenda when both leaders meet here tomorrow for their delegation level talks, to be followed by their meeting with the captains of Indian and Japanese industry here, which will be among their last official engagements here in Ahmedabad, when they will address the chambers of commerce of both countries and talk about investments, Indian investments in Japan and Japanese investments in India. So clearly, trade and investments, economic issues, security and defense will be high on the agenda or the talking points between the two leaders when they meet here tomorrow.